is only war.
What is up, gents? 40K Dirtbags here. We're going to do a quick video for you guys on how to do transports, rhinos, tactics, everything you need to know about getting in and out of a rhino disembark phase, the re-embark phase. There's a lot of tactics to the rhino. There's going to be some pro tactics and some basic tactics, but if you guys can really hone in on what the rhino is going to be doing on your turn as well as your opponent's turn, you can then plan out your turn, plan out the movement phase, and where you're going to actually predict your opponent to be going with the rhino. So guys, appreciate you click on the video. If you guys are my Patreons, appreciate you guys. Thanks for growing the Dirtbag Nation. If you guys want to get in the competitive scene, you guys get to message me one-on-one with some coaching over at the Patreon page, as well as Grandmasters get to see me play specific lists they want on any live stream that we have on Monday Night Gamings. So those are the different tiers. If you guys just want to support the channel, $1 a month, you get free access to all these videos ahead of time up on patreon.com. But guys, let's get in the video and we'll show you some tactics. Alright guys, so here's an example of what we have as a Death Guard Rhino, as well as 10 Death Guard Plague Marines, all kitted out, you know, different weapons, whatever you want to put on your guys. And then we have the Fowlplaychiken spawn, which is a flamer, and then the Putrefier dude who throws grenades. So this is just an example. You can use this for any army that you guys have. Everybody can bring a Rhino in most parts, or a transport that they can transport their guys in. So with a Rhino, you can fit 12 guys in a Rhino now in 10th edition. Most of the time it's going to be 10-man unit with 2 characters, 10-man unit with 1 character, and a solo character, or 2 5-man units with 2 characters attached to each 5-man unit. A lot of times with Chaos Space Marine now, you actually see 5 chosen with a Lord, as well as another 5 chosen with a Lord, or any vice versa of that in a Rhino. So that's just an example of what you're going to be able to put inside of a Rhino. And how it's going to work is everybody should be honestly using widgets. Widgets in 40K just makes things so much easier. It's pretty precise, and there's no arguing between opponents. It's like, hey, this is 3 inches. There's no arguing. So for the first thing, when you're talking about disembarking from a Rhino, disembarking, you're actually able to go out 3 inches from a Rhino, but it has to be wholly within 3 inches, and every single model in the unit has to be wholly within 3 inches. So when you guys are measuring, getting your guys out of a Rhino, you're going to be able to put most of the guys around a Rhino. Now it's from any point of the Rhino, so I'm going to be using my widget right here that you can actually measure from the corner and put the guys out 3 inches, and then basically put everybody behind that furthest guy from the Rhino. All right, so boom, boom, boom. We got all of our guys coming out of the Rhino. Now again, I'm just trying to be quick for you guys, just so you guys know kind of what I'm talking about. Now, depending on where you want your character to be, now the character can, you know, chuck a grenade for free with the unit. You can put him out front if you really want to, something like that. And then you have a flame guy, which is actually really hard hitting. And if your guy is, you know, let's say 15 inches away or 12 inches away, you want him to get that shot first. So it is really dependent on where you're going to be putting your guys out of the Rhino, because that's going to be determined who's going to get to combat first, who's going to be able to shoot within range, stuff like that. So this is an example of disembarking during that movement phase, so that way you have a couple different options now. So that's going to be the first step, is getting out of the Rhino. Now, getting out of the Rhino before the Rhino moves, you have a couple different options. These guys can then move, advance, charge, shoot. They can do almost basically anything as if they were starting on the table that turn. So, for an example, these guys are going to be able to move up 5 inches, because that's their speed. You then measure for each guy, they're moving up 5 inches. And then now they can shoot. In the charge phase, they can then charge. If they want to throw a grenade, they can do that. If they have the advance and charge strat, you could do that as well. So that's an example of what you could do after you get out of the Rhino. Then the Rhino honestly can do whatever he wants, because he didn't move yet this turn. So the Rhino can then also move up 12 inches, kind of go around your unit that you just got out, shoot something, maybe charge something. There's a whole tactical video I should be doing just based off Rhinos, but this is just going to be the disembarking and embarking of a vehicle video. So that's an example of what you can do when you get out of the Rhino first. Now what you can't do is, let's say these guys were still in the Rhino. If the Rhino moves up, right, they're still in 10th edition able to get out of the Rhino as a disembark. Now they can't move after that unless you have an assault ram, which is the land raiders and special vehicles like that. But these guys can move up and then get out 3 inches, which kind of gives them a little advantage with Death Guard, because now you're able to move the Rhino up 12 inches. They can then get out of the Rhino another 3 inches. That's 15 inches of movement. And then they can all still shoot, throw grenades, do whatever they got to do. It's a huge gap distance, gap closer for Death Guard, especially with a shooting unit like this unit right here. So again, we'll go back. That's an example. Let's say the Rhino starts here. All of these guys are off the board because they're in the Rhino. If the Rhino moves up 12 inches, so we're going to start the Rhino here just so we know where it is. Moves up 12 inches. They then can get out 3 inches. And then they can shoot, you know, their flamers, meltas, whatever it may be. So they're actually reaching that guy all the way over here, which you can't even basically see it on the camera, but they're reaching this guy from 28 inches away. They're able to shoot that guy with their guns or whatever it is inside the Rhino because they got out after the movement. Now again, they can't move after this or charge, but that's a legal move with the Rhino. All right. So now another thing is if they get out of the Rhino, you can now, this is a quick thing. If you want to just measure 8 inches from the Rhino, that's the farthest point because they move 5 and then they get out 3. So they get out 3 and then move 5. So it's 8 inches. So now again, you have to be cautious with that because some people don't like that you're able to put everybody out at the same time. It only really comes down to if people are close to your Rhino, then you should disembark first and then move. But to make things quicker in a game of 40K, you could basically just measure each guy kind of like this, 8 inches from the Rhino, right? Your furthest points, and then everybody else can kind of just get out right behind them like this, right? Because this guy could have got out back here, right? 3 inches and then moved up 5 to get like right there. So like that's an example of like getting out pretty quick and then just moving your guys up. So that was prior to the Rhino moving. The Rhino then can move whatever he wants to do, move up. Now you have to count distances for Rhinos, by the way. So let's say you move up 6 inches straight that way. Now if you want to turn, it's going to be 1 inch, 2 inch, another 2, that's 4. So we have 8, 4, that's 12 inches. So basically you're able to go like that. Now every time you turn a vehicle, you actually have to count the distance when you're actually turning vehicles. Back editions, you could just turn it for free. This edition, and I think last edition, you actually have to count every single inch that you do. For an example, if we're trying to run around this this thing, we can't just bend the tape measure. It's one of the biggest pet peeves I have in 40K, but you cannot just go like that. You're like, all right, I'm just gonna put the thing like right here. You just can't do that. You have to measure it out. So I'm gonna do the back of my base, which is the easiest part. So the back of my base to clear this is about 5 inches. Or I guess, there you go. So it's about 6 inches. So I'm gonna go 6 inches like this, which gets me 6 inches. Now I have another 6 inches to go. So I can go 4 inches up this way, another inch, 5 inches, and then I have 1 inch to go this way, like that. So that gets me all the way around this vehicle, which is 12 inches. Now if you measure just 12, you probably could have got all the way out there, but that would have been cheating, right? You have to measure precisely when it comes to vehicles going around corners and charging specifically. So back of my base to the back of my base is 6 inches. I then have 6 more inches, so I can go kind of like this way. Boom, that got me 12-inch movement. The guys can then get out 3 inches over there and then shoot something on the other side of the wall. So that's an example for the vehicle moving before and after. So when it comes to assaulting, if this Rhino has guys inside, they then can get out and let's say they have an advance and charge. Chosen, for example, can advance and charge. You would roll your charge roll, your advance roll. So wow, we got a 6. We sell these dice online, $1 each. If you guys want some dirtbag dice. So we're gonna get out disembark. Now again, you could do the faster method if your opponent is okay with it, but 6 plus 5 is 11, plus the 3-inch disembark is a 14-inch movement. So let's say these guys can advance out 14 inches. So I'm just gonna measure the furthest guy 14 inches all the way out to there. And you're gonna kind of like measure like this because that's how, you know, the max you can possibly get from the first row, which is gonna be like that. And then everybody else has to be behind these guys because they all advanced out 14 inches. Now they can still shoot and charge because they specifically have the rule that you can advance and charge. Now that is if the Rhino again does not move. If the Rhino for any reason moves prior to them disembarking, all of that is null and void. So anytime a vehicle moves, say this moves up 12 inches, they then can get out if they want to, or they can stay in, but they can get out and only shoot. The only way a vehicle can move up, they get out and charge is if you have a disembarking rule, like a land raider who has assault ramps, where it says this unit can charge after disembarking from this vehicle. Something like that, paraphrasing. So that's a quick example of how the Rhino is going to be used in 10th edition for disembarking, getting out, shooting, having extra movement, and stuff like that. There's going to be like some tactics that you can do with the Rhino. Most of the time when you don't want your Rhino to get shot, because then it blows up and all the guys come out and you know, get ruined. But if you want to put these guys right behind a wall, you're actually going to use your Rhino as a launching point for the guys inside. If I have a 5-man unit that has pretty good assault capability, so you can use them as like a launching point to get a little bit extra movement, especially behind a wall. So when these guys are coming out, let's say that's your target over there, you're actually going to be able to get an extra 3 inches from behind the wall compared to your guys just being next to the Rhino on the other side of the wall. So they're actually able to get out 3 inches, which gives you an extra 3-inch movement. So if you want to measure 8 inches from here, they're going to get all the way out to there, compared to only 5 inches, which is out to here. So obviously you get an extra 3-inch movement when it comes to being inside of a Rhino on the other side of the wall. And again, it protects your Rhino as well. So they were able to get an extra 3 inches out, and then they can shoot and then charge whatever's left on the other side, 8 inches away from the Rhino. So give you a little example of being able to get a little bit extra being on this other side of the wall. Now the Rhino can't go through walls because it's a vehicle. So how you're going to be able to measure this is the back of my base is 8 inches. So I'm going to measure the back of my base to the back of that base. And then I'm actually able to go up another 4 inches, which puts me to there. That's a legal move going from this side of the wall to that side. That's 12 inches. And let's say you still have a potential chance of getting an 8-inch charge to that unit right there. So let's say it's a really, really good unit of flamers that if this unit charges them, they're going to probably get smoked and die. So you can actually use your Rhino to charge an overwatching unit to stop them from overwatching this unit right here. So this unit is going to declare a charge on them. I am within 9 inches, so I need an 8 on the dice. Now your opponent has to decide, is it worth it to overwatch and be stuck in combat, or not overwatch, be stuck in combat, or wait to see if he fails the charge or not. If I fail the charge, then obviously he can overwatch these guys. But if I don't fail my charge, he would then charge in, be within 1 inch, which is coherency. Now he can't overwatch this unit that I really want to get into combat with. So using your Rhinos to advantage like that is pro move, basically. But it's super annoying for your opponent because they kind of know what you're doing. And then they have to decide if they're going to be able to overwatch or not before they get stuck in combat. So another great tactic for the Rhino, using it to your advantage and stopping overwatch. And you don't really want it to die. So you do stuff like that. Now with the, here's another rule that I learned recently with open hatches. The Rhinos have 2 open hatches that you can, has a firing deck. You actually can't overwatch with it because it's only in your shooting phase. You can choose one of the weapons that the guys inside are equipped with. So if you wanted to overwatch with your Rhino, it's only the basic weapons that they have. You actually can't use the weapons that are equipped inside the Rhino, which is something new that I learned. So that's another tidbit. If you guys are going against a transport that has open top, 30 or whatever, you're not going to be able to shoot 30 times out of the orc transport because it's not their shooting phase. It's out of phase. So they won't actually be able to do Overwatch. Here's another thing. If you guys look this up, disembarking doesn't count as an Overwatch target. So this is not a movement. So them disembarking out of the tank, that unit cannot overwatch me because it's a disembark, not a normal movement. So little things hidden in the wording with Games Workshop's perfect vocabulary with writing rules. So stuff like that is definitely great to know when you're going against opponents with transports and open tops and all that stuff. So hopefully this explains to you what you cannot do when it comes to disembarking, moving rhinos, not moving rhinos, how far you can get distances and stuff like that. All right, guys, so there's the transport video. I want to make quick tutorial tactic videos for you guys up on the channel. Again, if you guys want to see these first, head over to the Patreon page, support the channel so we can grow a lot more rapidly. And if you guys want to give suggestions, join the Dirtbag Patreon. I always ask for suggestions up on Discord. You guys get to give content on what you want to see me make. So that's the benefit of being a Patreon. And guys, I appreciate it. Hope you guys like this video. Leave in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, how we can improve. Always read the comments every single day. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? Welcome to the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. This is going to be support to the Dirtbag Nation. Just to give you a little insight on what we're trying to do and trying to grow into, we're trying to grow a brand name of the Dirtbag Nation, 40K Dirtbags, going all over the country and coaching people to get better at the game of 40K. We have really good coaching over at the Dirtbag Nation. Myself is ranked #1 for Grey Knights in the world last year in 9th edition. This year, we're currently ranked #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world on ITC 40K rankings. So we have a lot of experience over at the channel, and a lot of the coaches are going to start joining in and joining the Dirtbag Nation to help you guys get better at 40K. If you guys are new to the Patreon page, we have a couple different tiers. The first tier is the $1 tier. That's basically just coming over, supporting us for $1 a month. You get first access to the Dirtbag videos up on Patreon. The next tier is a $5 tier. Basically, you get first access as well as just have a little bit more branding with the Patreon Discord page. And you want to support us a little bit more than $1 a month. I really appreciate both you guys. The $10 tier is the competitive Dirtbag page. That's where we get more into the tactics, one-on-one coaching on the Discord. And if you guys have any questions, comments, list ideas, tactics, or game questions, you guys get to message us one-on-one through Discord. Make sure you take advantage of that because it's completely up to you to ask me any questions you possibly need in the 40K community. Finally, we have the Grandmaster Dirtbag. That Dirtbag is above and beyond. They come out and they basically want us to coach them one-on-one with calls on via Discord, TTS games, battle reports, or any tactical videos that you guys want suggestions to, you guys will get first access to, and we actually play live games for you guys or go over battle reports for our Grandmasters. Anything armies that you want to see specifically on the tabletop, that's the Grandmaster Dirtbag page. So it's just an explanation on what the different tiers are for Patreon. But again, thank you so much for the support. If you guys are thinking about it, you do have really good coaching. We drink beers, we have fun, we just kind of chill out and teach you guys how to have fun at 40K, unlike some other people on YouTube, but have fun at 40K, be good, win some games, more than you're averagely winning over there all over the world. And if you guys really just want to support the channel, we have our $1 and $5 a month as well. There's all the stickers and dice available to you guys at a discount, and you have your own Patreon tab in Discord that nobody else has access to besides you guys. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to grow Dirtbag Nation as much as we possibly can in 2024 and get it all thanks to you guys. Appreciate it.